One of Xi Jinping's worst fears is coming true. Today, the countdown for his coronation was supposed to begin. The Communist Party will hold its Congress next month. Xi Jinping is expected to be reappointed for a rare third term, but recent events are overshadowing his big moment. The Chinese president is losing his grip on the narrative. A perfect storm has hit his government. He could be facing more dissent in the party. Yesterday, we told you about a protest letter that targets Xi Jinping. Within 24 hours, we can tell you about another dissent note, another critique of the Chinese president and his policies. This one is about the zero COVID policy of China, the sweeping lockdowns, the mass testing rules, all of it. Here is the report that we're talking about. The criticism comes from a think tank, the Anbound Research Center. It has been linked to the Chinese government in the past. It published a research paper and it had to take it down. It's no longer available on the Chinese internet, but we were able to access some excerpts. And this research paper sounds like a warning for China. It asks the Communist Party to give up zero COVID. The title of the report is a giveaway. This is what it says. It's time for China to adjust its virus control and prevention policies. Let me quote with more details of what it has said. China's economy is at risk of stalling due to the impact of epidemic prevention and control policies. Preventing the risk of economic stall should be the priority task. China needs to focus on economic recovery and gradually integrate with the world. Basically, it says zero COVID is hurting the economy. The report makes a recommendation. It says China should learn to live with the virus. And there are specific references to the West. The easing of the pandemic restrictions in the US, Europe and Japan. The report talks about all of them. And it says that these economies are doing much better after opening up. You can't argue with the logic of the report. But if you're the Communist Party of China, you can erase the report. It was published on Sunday. It was available on popular Chinese social media websites. But by Monday afternoon, all posts were gone. Why were they scrubbed? And by whom? The think tank has not said a word yet. But this episode is extremely significant. It marks the second instance of dissent within a week, and that's a lot by Chinese standards. The timing raises more questions. Has zero COVID divided the Communist Party? Has it given voice to the silent dissenters? There's reason to believe it has. There is anger in China, and the writing is on the wall, quite literally. Let me show you some photographs. These are from China's capital city, Beijing. What you see are testing booths. They used to conduct mass tests. Now take a closer look. You'll see graffiti. Chinese citizens are defacing these testing booths. They've left some messages behind. This is what it translates to. Stupid prevention control. Give me liberty or give me death. And that's very significant. Give me liberty or give me death. Does it ring a bell? Well, for the Communist Party, it does. It brings back past horrors. This slogan was last used in 1989 during the Tiananmen protest. The only mass protest for democracy that modern-day China has witnessed, a protest that the Communist Party crushed violently. Give me liberty or give me death was used by the students who participated in the Tiananmen protest. At least 10,000 people were killed in that crackdown. And now that slogan is back on the streets of Beijing. Needless to say, the graffiti was erased within hours. But how do you erase a people's protest? How do you censor anger? More testing booths were defaced. In this case, at least 8 of them. A single Mandarin character was spray painted. It's like a cipher on each booth. The symbol alone makes no sense. But put them all together and you get the message. A non-profit organization did it. It managed to crack the code. It plotted these symbols on a map of Beijing. When you read them together, this is what it says. It has been 3 years. I'm already numb. The people of China are tired and frustrated. And this zero COVID policy is testing them further. But the Communist Party has been unrelenting. Xi Jinping's word is the law. Chinese officials have issued fresh orders. They put millions of people under lockdown. The province of Hebei announced a lockdown today. How many people are affected? Almost 4 million. Shenzhen has tightened its curbs on movement. At least 9 million people are affected here. In Dalian, 3 million people are under lockdown till Sunday. Mass testing has been announced in Tianjin. More than 13 million people will be forced to give a sample there. And it's not just the people of China. Government officials are also at the receiving end. The Communist Party is blaming them for the outbreaks. They're being punished left, right and centre. So far, Beijing has taken action on some 51 local outbreaks. More than 4,000 officers have been punished. What kind of punishment? Anything between disciplinary action and sacking. This coincides with another crackdown. You may remember these protests. Last month, hundreds of bank depositors in China clashed with Chinese authorities. These people lost their life savings because of bank failures. These depositors are said to have been victims of a fraud. And now hundreds of people have been arrested in the same case. Some depositors have also been given compensation. A total of 234 suspects have been arrested. 234 suspects. What do you make of all of this? These crackdowns. The Communist Party is implementing what is called the law of the hammer. American psychologist Abraham Maslow wrote about this in 1966, and this is what he said. If the only tool you have is a hammer, it is tempting to treat everything as if it were a nail. Well, that's how Xi Jinping operates. Anything that goes against his worldview is seen as a threat. Any word of dissent or disagreement is seen as a challenge to his position. Xi Jinping's default response is a crackdown. The latest round of lockdowns and arrests fit that description. The entire Chinese state has been deployed to calm the insecurities of one man. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.